Okay, now this is a video to show you how to use a timeline to solve some of the problems in each of these steps for this assignment. So I'm going to take one from step one, and here we've got Holly gets on the bus at 8:15, and then the first question says she gets off at 8:40. How long is she on the bus? Well, using this timeline, we'll be able to work out quite a simple method to add that up and go from there. So first of all, let's make life easy for ourselves. We're on 8:15. Let's go to the nearest rounded 10. Okay, so I'm going to jump to the nearest rounded 10, and that would be adding 5 would be 8:20. So I'm going to add 5. Now I'm doing that just to make the steps, the jumps easy and clear. And by working with a rounded 10, it's easy to count up at this stage. So then I'm going to jump another 10. Okay, so here we go, jumping that extra 10, and I'm now on 8:30. So I can see now there's not much of a gap between 8:30 and 8:40. I can see quite clearly there's going to be a gap of 10 by counting on 10, so I'll quickly do that now, and then add another 10 there. So by rounding it up to the nearest 10, I've made my life easier rather than doing 8:25, 8:35, and then doing the last 5. Could do it that way, but I'm trying to make it as easy as possible straight away. So how long was she on the bus? Well, we add up first 10 to the second 10, so that's 20, add the 5, and then that equals 25 minutes. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll have a look at a question from step 2, and we'll see how we can solve that one. Okay, so moving on to this one here. This is the first question in step 2. You've got Derek boards the ferry at 2:56. He gets off the other side of the river at 3:10. How long does the crossing take? Well, this one's a bit more complicated because it's bridging the hour. So we're going from 1 hour to the next. So we're not dealing with many minutes here, but we are dealing with something which, if we get it incorrect, will give us the wrong length of time. So first of all, we need to move this up to the next hour. We're on 56 minutes past the hour. We've got 4 minutes left, so we need to get it to 3 o'clock. Once we get to 3 o'clock, it will look really simple. So let's make that initial jump, and we've got plus 4 minutes. And by having plus 4 minutes, we are now on to 3 o'clock. It's then clear straight away how many minutes we need before we get to 10 past 3. So we're going to make that jump right now. And here we've got 10 minutes. Therefore, our total time is 14 minutes as a crossing. Now, when you look at the questions in section B, most of them are about bridging the hour. They are going from 11:45 past 12 o'clock, from 4:35 to 5:25. So you've just got to be careful there when you bridge the hour. The biggest misconception is children will forget to change it from 2 to 3, or they will put in something like 2:60 or 3:60 and get themselves confused there. What I like to try and really reinforce is just do the little jump that you can to get it to the rounded hour. Then once you've done that, it becomes a lot clearer. Sometimes you may have to do a few little jumps to get to that, but it's just about taking that steady pace and not getting confused with that one. Now we'll move on to something in section C. Now there's a few questions which talk about start times and finish times in section C. Okay, but when those start times and finish times in other questions are not so clear. So I'm going to take one as an example. It says here, a film lasts 100 minutes. It ends at 8 o'clock. When did it start? So here you've got to work backwards. I've got an end time, but I have no idea what my start time is. I have to work that out. So we're using a number line, but we're using it to find out different information. Previously, we'd used it to find out how long something had taken. Now we're using it to find out when something started, okay, or when something ended, because we have one piece of information, which is the end time, and we have another piece of information, which is how long, 100 minutes. So we need that to find our third part of this, the start time. So let's make life easy for ourselves. We've got 100 minutes. So I'm going to use up 60 to take it to the previous hour. That's going to make my life quite straightforward, because I'm going to have 60 here. By taking it back here, I've taken it to 7. And if I subtract that 60, that means I've got 40 minutes left. Okay, so here I'm bridging the hour. I'm going into the next hour. So whatever I get now is going to be before 7 o'clock. So it's not going to be 7:20, because 7:20 is about here. Actually, it's going to be before that. So I'm going to take a jump back just to show you of 20 minutes. So I'm going to take a further jump back in time, and it's going to be another 20. 20 there. So I'm taking off 20 minutes from 7 o'clock, and that will take me to 6:40. So I've gone back in time an hour, and now I'm going back in time again for 20 minutes. So I'm on to 6:40. Okay, so now I've got 20 minutes left, because I've taken that off the 40 there. So I'm going to do another jump of 20, another 20, and I'm going to take 20 off the 40, and this time that makes it 6:20. Okay, now down to 0 minutes left. Just to double check and make sure, I'm going to add this up. 20 add 20 is 40, 40 add 60 is 100. So 6:20 to 6:40 is add 20, 6:40 to 7 is add 20, 7 to 8 is add 60. So I now know this whole time took 1 hour and 40 minutes. But that's not what the question asked. The question asked, when did it start? So my answer is 6:20. Now, the biggest misconception that happens here whenever we're in class with children is they spend ages working this out. They're really great at it. They get the concept of going back in time, and what they do is they go back, and then proudly write down that it took 1 hour and 40 minutes to do, and that's the answer, because that's the pattern they'd been following previously. Okay, this one, it's a bit different. It's thinking out the box, so we're not looking for that as the answer, although that helps us get to the answer. The answer is the start time there.